Hi, my name is Hannah Parker. I am one of the founders and pirates of the company and community Blue Shark Friends. And we are a digital tech company. Ugh. We are a trans and disabled digital tech company for building digital platforms for close-knit communities like yours. And I want to show you how to whirl with Blue Shark Friends because if you're building um, communal platforms, then you better know what you're doing with community. So let's show you what we're doing. Okay, so as a company, we realized that we needed to actually describe what what kind of community building methodology we're using. So we came up with the shiver cycle. The shiver cycle is kind of a series of steps, and the steps are more like the stages of grief rather than steps you do in order. You can kind of do them in any order, but we've been able to kind of separate them into three main phases. Um, and those phases are flotilla, gather your shiver, and frenzy, launch your shiver, and fission, organize your shiver. So, shiver is a community of sharks. Have you ever heard of a gaggle of geese or a murder of crows? Shiver of sharks. I know it's so cute. Um, and so, as we build our shivers, we came up with this concept of the shiver cycle. We've also used shiver as an acronym for Shiver Holistically Inspires Virtual and Economic Reparations. This is a community building methodology. It is not a extraction methodology. It is a way for us to see who needs and to try to get their needs met. Which, if you have a community, that's what you want to do. Everyone should be wanting to take care of their friends. That's part of being a human. So this is to help with that. Don't have to save the world. Just take care of your people. So I want to walk you through these steps, and I'm going to go through them fairly quickly. This is something I do all of the time, but it'll give you kind of context for what it will mean to whirl with us. Um, and just to start, stage one, name your community. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, this is kind of a double entendre because our first and foremost goal with this is that you name the people who are part of your community because they need to know that they are a part of your community. So it's not just coming up with a name for your community, but you also have to name who's in it. And when you name who's in it, a lot of times they will help you come up with a name for it. So name your community. Step two, identify your needs. People in your community are going to be drowning. That is what it means to be in this life. Everyone has people who have needs. Everyone has people who aren't okay at some point in their life. And so you want to identify who those people are. And then we get to step three, connect your community. Connecting your community is about making sure that people who love you know who each other are because none of us is alone. There are people who are holding us up and keeping us okay. And if those people drown, then we're more likely to drown. And so we want to make sure that the people who are keeping us okay know about the other people who are keeping us okay, because that way they can work together to take care of us, but they can also work together to take care of each other. And all of us being cared for is what's going to help us survive as we face climate change, um, among other things. So at this point, I'm going to take a quick side story and introduce Mush, which is kind of a practice to help you think about how you're doing this as you build out your community. And it means move understanding your squad's handicaps. It's a process of saying, hey, I'm not going to ask you to do more than what your capacity is. And so as you make progress at building your community, you're not burning people out. Step four, my favorite step, the one that caused me to fumble on my first sentence and still just keep going. Fail in public. Woo. Vulnerability is the key to trust. People have to see who you are in order to be able to trust that you will take care of them and that you will let them make mistakes. And if you want to create an environment where people are allowed to make mistakes, you have to make mistakes in front of them. So that is the first stage. Gather your shivers, getting all your people together. Okay. After that, you're going to hit a point where you're going to realize that you can't fully take care of your community without specifically taking care of some individuals. That is where you start to switch into the Fin Frenzy stage, which is centers around raising labor. As we say in Blue Shark Friends, we don't raise capital, we raise labor. Raising labor is about identifying those people who had needs and building pathways for making sure that you can help get money to them and try to get them out of whatever horrible circumstance they're in. And a lot of times it's not just going to be one person. You're going to have multiple people who have this, and you're going to need to build structures and systems around multiple people. All of this only works with vulnerability. You have to trust them. They have to trust you. They have to trust you enough to start connecting with some of your friends. But that's why you started with connecting your community. That's what step 3 was. So you're raising labor. At this time, you want to start educating your roster. What you're doing here is you're staking your community and you're giving all of each other a single goal. And you're all going to work towards that goal. But you have to get everyone on the same page. So every person that has joined your community, start talking to them to say, hey, this is what we're doing. Next, going to align your dreams. So this is the part that actually leads to reparations. Is instead of trying to meet just one person's dream and trying to make their dream come true, you're going to look at each other's dreams and see how to line them up so that what you're doing is going to benefit everyone. So you get everyone's dreams lined up, and that means you know what each other's dreams are and you know what their needs are. And now you're starting to line up things so that if you have success, it means they have success. That is what it means to be in a shiver. If our friends drown, we drown. If our friends are successful, we are successful. And then you go into the whirlpool phase. Whirlpool phase is where everyone agrees to a certain period of time that this is where they're going to put all of their energy into whatever it is you're building. For us, it's Blue Shark Friends. This is our whirlpool phase. We are trying to get as much energy and stuff from our friends into helping us launch our company, and then getting our company to a place where we can start to become self-sufficient. And during your whirlpool phase, you're going, oh, yeah. I should back up and explain Echo. So part of educating your roster is Echo into your crewmates' homes. You need to be as public and vulnerable with the people that you're working with as you can. And so what we've done is weekly lives to make sure that we're getting our message out to our people. But we also, I am recording in the home of one of our crewmates. That is also a part of this, is going out of your way to be in people's spaces, and being invited into those spaces. So that is how you get your message to them. They have to see you. Okay. During your whirlpool phase, you're going to put all of this energy into launching your project. And for a lot of us, that's going to mean selling something, selling some product, selling some type of service. For Blue Shark Friends, what we're selling is building digital platforms like the bluesharkfriends.com platform that we've created. During this process, as sales come in, you're going to want to do ask. Now, ask is a reference to raising labor and identify your needs. You have to know what these things are in order to provide support. But when you do that, you can allocate your sales as capital. I know, das Capital. I really liked it. I just went with it, okay? Allocate your sales as capital. Raising labor is about recognizing the groups that are within your shiver and how they're trying to orient and protect themselves with their own projects. And when you get to this phase, you're able to say, hey, I have money coming in. Let me help launch the next shiver. So you've done your whirlpool. You're going to take a rest, collective rest, time of we did it. That was successful. We were taking a break. But also during that time, you're going to swim on the momentum. You've caused a lot of things to get going. And now you're going, instead of pouring all that energy in, you're going to swim on the momentum of what's already happening. And a lot of what you're going to do during that time is documentation. Make sure people know what's going on and how to repeat what you did. And automating anything you can to make it easier. Trying to turn what you've built into something sustainable. Okay, next. Festival. If you're part of a community, it means you have to celebrate your successes. You have to celebrate the fact that you guys came together and built something. Every time you do that, it's a success. That's real. And so you want to celebrate that. And finally, a ceremony. Identify the people who have built something and recognize them for what they've done. This is where we endorse our pirates and say, hey, this is a shiver now. So that is the shiver cycle. And you can do it over and over again. And it's designed to help spread out energy horizontally so that people can build communities for their communities, can build shivers with their communities. And then people in those shivers can build shivers with their communities. And we can overlap with each other. So a lot of that is hard to picture from okay, this is community building, but what does that mean? What would it mean to whirl with Blue Shark friends? What would it mean to work with us? And that is this next slide. I love how it froze on me. How to whirl with Blue Shark friends. So we have 3 paths, and this is a lot. I'm going to stay here for a little bit and give a brief rundown, but then we're going to go through each of these paths individually, and so it will make a lot more sense. We have the pirate stream, the collaborator stream, and the patron stream. And the pirate stream is if you want to work really closely with us and become part of Blue Shark Friends. And so we do recruitment and then onboarding. And when we onboard people, they become our crewmates. And those are the people in our community. And anyone can become a crewmate with our community, but anyone can become a crewmate with our community, but it is on them to get recruited into Blue Shark Friends. So as pirates, me and Josie don't recruit people, but our other deckhands and crewmates can recruit people into our community. Because if you're joining our community, then you have to be invested in building relationships with our community. And after that, if you have the capacity and ability to work with us, we can do a contract with you and you can become a deckhand, which is a kind of, which is what we call our independent contractors. And you can work with Blue Shark Friends, and we build contracts that are essentially simple and capacity first for people, and it allows them to see like what does it actually mean to work with us. And throughout this process, you get to see that is that we are a disabled company, and that means we move at the pace of our capacity. But if you're really happy with all of this and you realize that you want to become part of Blue Shark Friends, a co-owner of Blue Shark Friends, we have an apprenticeship where we do a joint venture. And if that works out, we become a pirate. So um, we have the collaborator stream, which is for people who want to be like a step a little bit further away from that. Um, Kind of like the pirate stream is for people who are our friends who are deeply invested in me and Josie. The collaborator stream is people who are saying, hey, I kind of need to have my own space, but I really want to partner with what you guys are doing. I really believe in it, and I really want to build my own shiver. And so we kind of meet with those people. And a lot of times they have their own project or they're already a business owner. And what we do is we have a conference with them and decide, are we going to work together? And if we are, we do like a small trade with them as a partner. And if that trade is successful, we do a larger trade with that small trade is our seminar. So all of these different worlds kind of connect to each other. And our seminar is where in exchange for like a $200 worth contract, like some type of easy trade like that, we will come in and do a free seminar with your shiver. Like you've kind of brought your people together and we do a seminar with your shiver. And if that goes well for us, we move on to a large trade where we do a mutual aid agreement and it's a lot more formal. And if that goes really well, our goal is to have a joint venture that allows us to build you a shiver platform. So let's say you're one of those people who has money. That's great. You can still do this. And one of the things that we recognize is that money kind of alienates people and kind of pushes them further out. If you want to be a collaborator with us and still work really closely with us, that's great too. But if you want to be able to say, hey, I don't want to really work closely with you, but I still am interested in doing this. I want to build my own independent community. There is a pathway for that too. In which case you can purchase our seminar. And if that goes really successful, you can purchase a custom site for your shiver. And if that goes really successful, you can purchase a platform site. Our seminars are $200, our custom sites are $5,000, and our platform sites are $10,000 plus $100 a head. And a platform site is like Blue Shark Friends, like fairly straightforward site with the ability to like email. And then the individual websites for all of the people who are part of your community. Okay, so let's get into it. You're a candidate. You're interested in joining Blue Shark Friends, um, not just being a part of it. Not partnering, but joining. So you're a candidate. What's the next step? Well, the first step is you get recruited by a crewmate or a deckhand, someone who's already part of Blue Shark Friends, and you get to see, hey, they're already part of this. I'm sorry, the slides I see on my phone are going slower than the slides on a laptop. It's throwing me off. So someone who's already part of Blue Shark Friends is interested in getting you to join. You have to be approved by one of the pirates, but also you need to be recruited by like a crewmate or a deckhand. So you're building relationships with not only the pirates, but also other people in the shiver. But if you're recruited, we have an onboarding process that, for the most part, basically says you are okay with being publicly associated with Blue Shark Friends. So you get to have one of those little websites that says you're a part of our community. At that point, you become a crewmate. And within Blue Shark Friends, we do everything we can to do mutual aid for each other in supporting one another. Congratulations. But let's say that you have capacity and interest in working, then you can become a deckhand. And one of the things for where I live is that it's illegal to have someone as an independent contractor without having them sign a form that's notarized saying they understand that they're an independent contractor. So one of the great things is that if this is something you're invested in, it means that you really want to work with us and you believe in what we're building. Um, and it allows us to pay you. And what we love about that is that we're able to pay attention to what people's needs are and to try to um, estimate how much we pay people according to what their needs are. So let's say you've moved into being a deckhand, you can jump to this as a crewmate too, and you want to become a pirate, one of our co-owners. What we request is that you go through a 1 year apprenticeship, and that's just having worked with us for a year, but also that you help launch another shiver. You don't have to be a pirate in that shiver, but that you help them launch it. That way you see the entire process. Um, so let's say one of the other things that we have as a requirement for becoming a co-owner in Blue Shark Friends is that you have to live within like an hour's drive of our headquarters. That is because we realize that having this level of ties with somebody, we need to really actually know them in real life and be able to see them and meet them. Um, that is part of our process. But for some people, because we are a digital community, some people don't live near us. And we've noticed that for a lot of those people, the concept of becoming a co-owner or someone who stays away from them isn't really all that appealing. So one of the things we created is that you can jump from any stream to another stream. So, and you can be in multiple streams at the same time. So you can be a deckhand because you can be in multiple shivers. You can be a deckhand in our shiver and a pirate in another shiver. Let's say you're a deckhand and you realize that you want to do more than just work for Blue Shark Friends. You have your own community that you want to help start and give them more connections and dependence on each other and help build mutual aid with them. Because we are able to pay our deckhands, we can allocate money and help you with getting the needs of the people in your shiver taken care of. And so you can start the process. This is the process of the shiver cycle. You gather your shiver, you get all your people, name your community, identify your needs, connect to your community, fail in public. And through that process, we find a way to do like some type of mutual aid agreement where we're both benefiting and you're able to say, hey, I have this group of people and this is my shiver. These are my people. And because we're working together and doing this mutual aid, we can help you launch. And after you launch your shiver, the Fin Frenzy, we go to the next phase, organize your shiver, which is fission, where we actually separate. Now, people can be in both shivers at the same time, but they become two distinct separate entities. And one of the reasons we do that is because we do not want to, we're not trying to gobble everyone up. We're not trying to become the global company Blue Shark Friends. Our goal is to take care of our people. And if you have people you want to take care of, we want to support you in taking care of your people. And so we become two separate shivers. And we're still linked to each other because we can still do business transactions with each other and whatnot. But now you're your own company with your own community around it, and you're able to take care of your people. And now we're connecting kind of like business to business relationships. So that is why we call the third step vision, to make it clearer that like they become two separate entities. I like to call this single level marketing. I think it's really funny. I've People have laughed at me for saying that, but that's kind of it. Is we don't own people. This concept of trying to build hierarchy all the time is fucking stupid and it's exhausting. So we just want to say we trust that you got your people, and you can trust that you got our people. We got our people, and you're one of our people. That's it. Okay. So now you've kind of got an idea what it's like to be inside Blue Shark Friends, right? Now, what is it like to partner with us? Let's say you see what we're building, you really like it, you want to build something similar with your community. What could that look like? So, interested in partnering with Blue Shark Friends? Hi. Um, Our first step is to have a conference. And this is conference. Our goal is to bring in all of the business owners because this is something that everyone needs to be on the same page about. You can't have like half your business going, I think we want to do this, and the other half not knowing what's going on. So we bring in all the business owners and we go, hey, we want to know if you really want to pursue this as a relationship. Um, and this is kind of like our consultation that we do for patrons. And this is free. This is just the first step of us talking with each other, us explaining how what we do and how we do things, and seeing if you're interested in it. Um, and if you are, and one of the things that lets us know you're really interested is when you do the work to like bring all your business owners into having this conversation. And if you are interested, we work out the next step. Our next step is that seminar, like a facilitated discussion with your shiver as you've gathered them, and us being able to say, this is the shiver cycle, and this is how we do things, and you guys being able to come up with a plan for what it will mean for your community, because every community is different. You don't have to do the exact same thing we do. We wanted to do is provide a rubric that people could copy, but we also wanted to let people do their own thing. And so if you pay attention, you notice this is gather your shiver. And we come up with a mutual aid agreement, something that we can do for y'all and you guys can do for us. And that really allows us to work kind of hand in hand and to see if that works really well for us. Like, are we a good fit? Hey, look, it's the Fin Frenzy. And so we do a mutual aid agreement. Now, this is still like separate, but there might be some people in our shiver that are working with your shiver. And we get to see how well we work together. And this is like a more concrete contract, but also they're separate things. We do something that's like specific to something we are good at, and you guys do something specific to something you are good at, and we trade. And it lets us see how well we work together. Because you don't really know how well you're going to work with people until you work with them. And that's one of the reasons why we designed this way, is that people can break out at any time. But if you decide, hey, I really like working with Blue Shark Friends, I really like doing that mutual aid agreement with them, let's do a joint venture. That's our goal with helping you be able to afford a Shiver platform. Because like we said, Shiver platforms are $10,000 plus $100 a head. That's what it costs for us to produce them. Right now, we think we can get that cheaper, and our goal is to make that cheaper as we grow, but we have to have capacity for that. So, in order to make that affordable to people, to provide a pathway for people to do this through mutual aid, we do a joint venture. And our goal with that joint venture is that we can monetize some aspect of what your business does that we are supporting with our platform. And then you can pay us out of that, the $10,000. So that is the collaborator stream. That is what it means to work with us as a collaborator. And what we love is that we could have a ceremony where we get to say, hey, look, new pirates with their own shiver. Congratulations. This can be you. Okay, so let's say you're a patron. Woo. And you're interested in hiring us for a consultation. Like, you don't want to try to work with us in a really close-knit way, you kind of want a little bit distance. One of the things that collaborators do is that they will be publicly associated with Blue Shark Friends. And there are people who don't want to say that, hey, I'm connected to Blue Shark Friends. And that's okay. We live in crazy times. Let people be where they're at. So after that process, after you tell us you're interested, you can become a client. And as a client, you can just like jump into whatever step. You don't have to go step by step. You don't have to do a seminar and then a sponsor and then a patron. You might say, I have my shiver, they're ready to go. I have $10,000. I want you to build a digital platform. You can jump into that. I don't suggest it, and we would talk with you about that to make sure you're not um, like a community that doesn't work if it's forced on people. And we want you to get the value, right? And so as you bring people together, it will be more successful. But there are some people who what they want to do is they want to invest in Blue Shark Friends and what we're doing. This is a way to do that by buying into our services. And there's, like we said, if you want to work as a collaborator with us, but still be able to pay us these costs, that's great. All for that. But if you want some more distance, that works too. And people who go this route, they don't have to be listed on our site as like one of our sponsors or patrons. But if you're going to work with us from a communal aspect, a collaborator stream or the pirate stream, then you are saying you will be publicly associated with us. So that is essentially a difference. And one of the things we wanted to do is be able to show you like money is kind of alienating. And the people that you become friends with, like they want to take care of you because they want to take care of you, not because of what services you have to provide. So when you put money into our shiver and buy our services, it's not going to just us. But because we're doing this practice of splitting and building new shivers and supporting our friends in building their own communities and their own companies, then we're able to spread that money out throughout our shiverhood. That is the goal, is us being able to keep wealth within our community rather than losing it to faceless corporations. Because we know who each other are, because we did this work and connected with them. Okay. In archaic world, you can feel like you're navigating dangerous waters all on your own. But you are not alone. There are people who support you, people who love you, people who depend on you. In your community, your shiver doesn't have to navigate this world alone either. That is what we're offering. So please consider joining us. Blue Shark Friends, that's our logo. Or partnering with us. I like the your crest here because it's like, hey, you can put your little logo here and this is your flag. You don't have to have wheels. I just wanted it to look like, hey, this is what it looks like to be an alliance, like a visual reminder. Or you can hire us and be completely independent. You can go on a different path than the one we're on. You can build your own community. But please, for the love of all things blow high, build your shiver. Build economic interdependence with the people you care about. Don't let them get lost in the current. Instead, let's shiver together. That's our tagline for this platform, the Shiver platform. So let's shiver together. Take this. Whatever we've offered right here, this is all free. You don't have to ask permission to use this community building methodology. You can just do it. You can use whatever technical tools you have out there, build your own communities, whether it's Facebook groups or Discords. We don't think that they are built around community and therefore building something different. But take care of your people. You don't have to have our permission to do that. I believe in you. You got this.